what's up, y'all? Welcome to Perspective Talks Podcast. I'm your host, Zay. Follow me on Instagram at PTPofficial_, and my personal is going to be at Zay with the K. Tonight, I got my homeboy Wingo with me tonight. We're going to talk about a couple topics. Wingo, go ahead and shout yourself out for the people that don't know you.
Y'all should already know me by now.
Yeah,
The comic
should.
guy,
You really
the funny
should.
guy. But you don't know.
Country
you know,
boy.
It's
Cowboy. That's what we're going to call you. We're going to call you Cowboy.
Man, a cowboy. Anyways, the socials are for Instagram and TikTok, same, _, Snapchat. Actually, we're getting closer to it, so you might get it in the future. But yeah, you see bald guy smell with the cowboy hat on in some pictures and guitar. See what I am. Give me a follow. I'll most likely try to follow you guys back. Sometimes y'all like to spam and shit.
Don't be no weirdo, though.
Yeah, we're gonna be weird about it.
It's not even the same for my page. Like, if you're weird, or like, I feel like you're a spam page or like a fucking Indian fucking trying to scam people.
Fluffy dog.
Bro, you know how many, like, lately, a couple accounts?
You put that out there, fluffy dog.
What's
Somebody
that?
called Fluffy Dog followed me.
Hey, scam?
Nah, it was a real person. They had like 220-something thousand snaps. I don't know how they snaps.
Snaps. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm
And
sorry.
they put the heart eyes on for me. It's weird, man. It doesn't tell me it's a female or not. It's just a female or male. It's just the little Indian emoji. Who are you? No, who are you? You put LOL. I'm like, who the fuck is this? But yeah, man, that's why I'm my Snapchat out now. I'm from the kid about that shit. You know, block them so many times. It's really it's easy to create a Snapchat. That's what we do. Let me talk to the people.
Alright, so we're going to bring up a topic that I feel is a conversation worthy topic. Kind of relating to power and how people perceive power and how people perceive you with power. So the question is, and it's something that I think somebody sent to me, either that or I just saw it on social media, and I was like, I like that question. The question is, would you rather be loved or feared by the people around you? What do you think, Wingo?
For me, I prefer to be loved, man, because I prefer to have the, because if you've been feared over the years, the times you start to build hate from people. People start hating you towards, people will start building hate towards you. There we go. But yeah, I prefer to have protection from the people than protection from the people. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have you guys protect me than have to have protection from you. That makes sense. So it's called, I'd rather have protection from the people than have protection from the people. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I prefer to be loved over to be feared. Fear goes so much. Sometimes fear doesn't always follow respect. When you love, when you love, you can always have respect following that. So that's like being loved and feared. The two things about that is just the loyalty. You can be scared of somebody, and like if they say, you know, that motherfucker was to get shot 10 times, and it's my choice for him to live or die, I'll let him die. Because now you still hate to him and love him. It's like, now I do this. So that loyalty will overpower that fear and that love. That's why I'm afraid to be loved.
I agree with you. One of the things you said was fear built up hate and resentment from the people around you. And I agree with that. I think that another key word that you said was respect. I think that makes the big difference between being loved and feared. When you're feared, you kind of just have this power over them where it's like you're going to comply whether you want to or not. And I think the biggest difference between being loved and feared and respected is that respect portion. When you're loved, you are respected, and they comply out of willingness. Whereas when they're feared, they comply out of retaliation, fear of retaliation. So when you're feared, people are just complying just so nothing happens to them. But when it comes to a moment where they understand that nothing can happen to them, when you're dropped down from your power and you have no authority over them or no control or anything like that over them, that's when they will rebel, and that's when they're gonna stop complying to whatever your orders are, whether it's for the good or not. They're gonna rebel anyways because they're tired of being under your control unwillingly. Whereas when you're loved, They are complying out of respect for you because they want to. It's willing compliance.
So it's like an obligation almost.
Yeah, when you're feared, it's like an obligation. But when you're loved,
do that because you can beat my ass.
Exactly. It's all out of fear. Whereas when you're loved, it's all out of respect. Kind of like, think of it like someone above you. It's like, I'm only listening to the things you're saying, even though I don't agree with it, because I have to. Not because I want to, because I have to. And it would be easier for me if I just listen to you, and then this shit just blows up in your face in the long run. Whereas when you're respected, it's like, okay, I may not agree with that, but I respect you enough to trust you and comply because I have that faith in you that you know better than I do, even if I disagree. Because if I respect you, then that means even if I don't agree with what you're saying or asking of me, then I'm just gonna assume or perceive that is a better choice than what I'm thinking because I respect you that much.
So I mean, you guys have a disagreement on it. I mean, you can always comment. But that's just me coming from.
And that's yeah. Let me know in the comments if you rather be loved or feared by the people around you and why. The why is a big reason why.
I just think it's better to be loved.
100%, I agree with that.
But some people may have a better argument for it to be feared. I mean, it depends on the circumstances too. If it's like some mob shit,
yeah, you brought up a good point. I think the only time where it's better to be feared than loved is by people who don't respect you, or it sounds really shitty, but if you're trying to overtake a certain population of people, where it's like, hey, to grow my empire, it sounds like very primitive. It sounds very primitive, but from like a perspective where you have to like dominate other realms outside of your direct influence, I think that's when fear is better utilized over love. Because when you love people but they don't want to love you or respect you, then that's when I think it's better to be feared. Not because, hey, you don't listen to me, now you gotta fucking feel the wrath of my fury, so to say. But let's say it's not more so for those people you're conquering, but more so for your empire, whatever that may mean to you. Like for example, for me, like in today's day and age, we don't got fucking empires and shit like that. Like no, like yeah, we got people fucking countries and like subsidies conquering other fucking regions and shit like that. But from like a civilized perspective, I think that it's more applicable when you're talking about a business. I'm talking about like a big firm, a big business, someone who's got like a 100, 200 story building with their name on it. So when you're at that point where it's like, hey, I need to grow, I need to expand, I'm gonna go to this company because they have something I don't have, or if I were to cooperate with them, then this will be mutually beneficial. Now, I'm gonna come in there asking politely. I'm gonna go about it the more politically correct way, in the most appropriate way. But once that gas shuts down and it comes to a point where it's like, I have to do this for the better of my people, because when you're running a company, you have to understand that, and this is what a lot of people nowadays who work like 9 to 5, which is like 99% of the people, the percent of the population who aren't business owners. When you're in that position, you're not only responsible for the money in your pockets, you're responsible for the money in other people's pockets, the people who you hire, the people who you employ. So not only are you doing it for yourself, but yeah, there's always a beneficiary factor where it's like, oh, if I do this, I'm gonna get X amount and benefited to me. But you also gotta think, if I do this, I'm also providing for the families of the people that I employ as well. So not only am I fighting for myself, I'm also fighting for the people who work under me. And these are people who love me and respect me and trust me to know that if I'm going after these people and I'm going at it I guess, aggressive way is the best way to put it, or controversial way, or a way that can be negatively perceived, then they know that I'm doing it because they did not want to comply, and it would have been mutually beneficial if they were to comply, whereas if they don't, then now I'm going to take away some of those benefits away from them. Or I'm just going to take over the fucking said company or whatever entity I have to do to expand, grow my business, grow my empire, so I can better provide for the people under me and for the people I just conquered as well. Because once you no longer need to fear, then that's when you can start building that trust and love from those people. It's like, hey, I did X, Y, Z. There are people that now want to comply. Now I bought them out, or I conquer them, so to say. Now I'm going to take care of you because that's my responsibility as your leader. I think that's the only time it's adequate where you can be feared.
Yeah, I see what you're coming from, man. Because you can have the people that say, oh man, I love them, but you guys went from the fear, it's like, man, I disagree with this man, but I'm down. If I say something, he'll fuck me up.
Right.
Or something like, yeah, okay, so, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Keep it simple, you know. Yeah, honestly, that's what I can see from it.
I think fear is a tool, a weapon that we use, but as a last resort. I think it's better to be loved and respected.
Yeah.
But you need to earn that love and respect from those people. Because these are people who don't know you, don't have any obligation to trust you or have any sort of confidence in you. So therefore you have to prove yourself. And in the most extreme scenarios, yes, fear is definitely justified and should be used as a last resort, but is a tool in the toolbox if needed to be. Hell, fucking countries use it all the time. That's why they use deterrence with aircraft carriers and big warships and other big dollar type assets like tanks and shit like that. Like anything that projects power, it's like, hey, we're not using this, but understand that these are the capabilities of said item. If you want to fuck around and find out, you don't see and learn, we own this motherfucker. Yeah.
Sure.
Those are my closing thoughts. You have any closing thoughts on that?
Nah, I'm here in my head.
I think from a general perspective, it's always better to be loved and respected. I think that's a key term. It's like between being loved and feared. I think the key difference in that is that the respect portion. Because when you love, you're respected. When you fear, it's I don't have to respect you. It's
I have no choice now.
yeah, I have no choice.
Fuck me up now.
Yeah. Like I think that's different. It's the choice of respecting you or not. Whether I have that option to respect you or not. I think that makes a difference between being loved and feared. And honestly, I think people who are loved go further in life. Because they are the ones who have more to lose. And they're the ones who are the more logical thinkers and more respectful. And are more willing to do what's best. Not only for them, but for the people around them. Yeah, anything else to add?
I do not.
Well, I think that wraps up for this episode of Perspective Talks Podcast. I've been your host, Zay. Once again, follow me on Instagram at PTP_. My personal is going to be at Zay with the K.
Y'all already got mine. If you ain't got it, go back to
The beginning of the episode.
26 seconds in the video. There we go. That's it.
Once again, there's going to be in the description below. All links are going to be in the description. I'll make sure to add that. Make sure you have everything on that. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe, like, comment, all that. And again, let me know in the comments if you'd rather be loved or feared, and let me know why. I really want to hear what your perspective is on that topic, and maybe we'll make a follow-up video on that and talk about the comments in said video and kind of talk on those points that y'all make. Yeah. Once again, it's been Perspective Talks Podcast. Deuce.